into a pub. He says, can I have a pint of lager, please? The barman said, you can. Where'd you get that? He said, this. I was fighting for the country and I lost my hand. The barman said, free drinks for you all night. The fella said, well, thank you very much. And an hour later, another fella came in. He said, can I have a pint of lager, please? The barman said, you can. Where'd you get that? He said, this. I was fighting for the country and lost my hand. The barman said, free drinks for you all night. The fella said, well, thank you very much. Then an hour later, another fella came in. You heard it. He said, can I have a pint of lager, please? The barman said, free drinks for you all night. He said, well, thank you very much. The barman said, by the way, where'd you get that? He said, oh, Primark. Normal people laughing, magicians scribbling, that's good. Write down the jokes, that's how I got them. So, I'm going to show you a little bit of magic tonight. I'm going to show you some of the first magic I ever saw. My granddad was a magician. That's right, my granddad could tell the future. He actually knew the exact day and date he was going to die. The judge told him. What about that? And I actually lived with my grandparents because my parents didn't love me. Aww. That's right, my dad, I remember when I was a little kid, took me to one side and left me there. And my mum didn't love me, she tried to have me aborted. Apparently it's too late once you're in secondary school, so... And once when I was a kid, my dad hit me. It doesn't sound that bad to you, he was in a Vauxhall at the time. And, so I lived with my grandparents and they were a strange couple. My gran said strange things. I'll never forget the last thing my gran said to me. She said, what are you doing here with that hammer? Oh, so that's too far. Good. I remember once I said to my gran, I said, Gran, what is love? She said, well, it's big and it can be hard on the outside, but it's always soft on the inside. And it's juicy and sweet. I said, Nan, that is the most beautiful thing I've ever heard. Is that what love is? She said, love. I thought you said a melon. So, I went to see my granddad one day. I said, Granddad, show me a trick. He said, pull my finger. I said, never again. He said, all right, go in the kitchen, get me a brown paper bag. So I did. Now the brown paper bag I got my granddad wasn't a McDonald's bag like this one. But as you can see, I've become quite a fan of this company over the years. What's funny about that? I have loads of these lying around. He showed me that it was empty. He then said, go in the kitchen and get me a brown beer bottle. So I did. Ladies and gentlemen, my granddad took a brown beer bottle. He placed it into a brown paper bag. He waved his hand over the top of the bag. And he said, Shazam! He was quite hip. And when he did, the bottle was gone. I couldn't believe it either. He said, watch this, kid. Now, I'm going to bring it back again. And he waved his hand. And when he snapped, the bottle came right back. Thank you. Now, I know what you're thinking. And the answer is, about another 20 minutes. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, I didn't really make the bottle disappear. And that's what I said to my granddad. So we placed it back into the bag. He waved his hand over the top. He said, Shazam, the bottle was gone. I said, prove it! Prove it! And he proved. I thought, oh shit, and he dropped it. Then he proved. Sorry, nobody's noticed. He proved the bottle was gone. And then he brought it right back again. Don't like that, I thought we were friends. Well, I can't do the trick where the bottle goes in the bag and disappears. But my granddad could. So at this point I was pretty into magic. I used to watch it on the TV all the time. I saw this magician do this one trick. Man, I loved it. I don't remember a lot about him other than that his name was Paul and I liked him. And he did this trick where he took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. And what he did was, he threw 3 of them away. But when he counted, he still had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. And the whole audience said, that's amazing! That's amazing! I like to tell you all about the first trick I ever saw. This magician took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. He threw 3 of them away. When he counted, he still had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. The whole audience went, that's amazing! That's amazing! And I'd like to tell you all about the first trick I ever saw. This magician name was Paul. I liked him. He took 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 this time. I messed that up. He threw 2 away. 3. He still had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards. The whole audience went, Jesus, that's amazing! That's what I'm talking about. Comedy this side, tragedy this side. So I went to the shop, the magic shop, obviously. There's no point in going to the butcher's for magic tricks. Although the other day I went into the butcher said, I'll bet you £50 you can't get the meat from the top shelf. I said, I'm not betting, the stakes are too high. While we're on the subject, the other day I was on a ship and loads of legs on arm went floating past. I thought it was getting choppy. Actually, every now and again in this job I do get to work on ships, big cruise liners, it's lovely. The other day I was on one and the cabin steward was knocking on the door, 3 o'clock in the morning, banging on the door. Anyway, in the end I got up and let her out. Actually, that's just a joke, but one day it was a little embarrassing. I was standing on the bed, I'd just gotten out of the shower, and I was totally naked, and the cabin stewardess came in, eventually. I said, have you got a trick where it just takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, sometimes 7 cards, he throws 3 away. When he counts, he still has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, and the whole audience goes, that's amazing! He said, we don't sell that trick. I was disappointed. A lot like many of you seem to be. But he said, come back in a week, and luckily for you, I did. And now the trick where I take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards, I throw 3 of them into a live, cheering audience. And unbelievably, we still have 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll be somewhere. Just kidding, I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards on the whole audience. Well, I've actually had a request, but I'm going to do a bit more anyway. And I'd like to tell you a little secret. I collect Sylvanian family. Sorry, a different secret. I used to go and see a psychiatrist. Ooh. He's very expensive. The reason he was expensive was because he cured unusual stuff. Like some people are afraid of spiders. That's called arachnophobia. Some people are afraid of raincoats. It's called arachnophobia. Some people are afraid of spiders wearing raincoats. That's called arachnophobia. I wasn't afraid of any of those things. What I was afraid of was much worse. In a second, I'm going to show it to you. When I say I was afraid of, I'd like everyone here in this row to go, do. And straight after that, perfect. There's a rehearsal. Right? You go, you leave it on your feet. That's enthusiasm. So you go, do. Fine. Then everyone in the middle, you go, do. Dun. And straight after that, everyone here, you go, dun. So I'll say I was afraid of, and you go, dun, dun, dun. Like that. And I'll show you what I was afraid of. I'm not holding my breath, to be honest. I was afraid of. I was afraid of. These, yes. What? No, it's a balloon. I was afraid of these for a very long time. The psychiatrist said if you want to get over your feet, a week 1, hold it in your hand. As you can see, I can. Don't make dentists with that attitude. Just calm down. Right. So week 1, I'll leave your hand. Week 2, you had to blow it up, but just a bit. So I did. Week 3, you had to blow it up a bit more. Week 4, a bit more than that. If you're interested, I did this on the way for a policeman. I was driving along and it was a bit strange. I saw the blue lights in the window, so I sped up. And I saw them again, so I sped up. Finally, he caught up to me. He came up to the window. He said, do you know how fast you were going? I said, about 30. He said, 70. I said, what? He said, 70 miles an hour. I said, officer, I'm really sorry. I've got to be honest. About 2 years ago, my fiancée ran away with a policeman, and I thought you were bringing her back. He said, sir, you're staggering. I said, you're not bad yourself. He said, can I have your name? I So what am I going to use? He said, where were you between 5 and 7? It's a primary school. He said, is this vehicle licensed? I said, it is. Get in, have a drink. He said, can you blow in this bag? I said, what's the matter? Your chips too hot? He said, have you got a police record? I said, I got Walking on the Moon on 7-inch. That is pretty good, actually. He said, sir, you've got a backlight out. I said, what? He said, you've got a backlight out. I went around the back of the car, I burst into tears. He said, don't cry, it's only a backlight. I said, backlight? Where's my caravan? Week 5 a bit more, week 6. Week 7 I was just about blowing up. He said, this week don't blow it up, just tie a knot in it. So I did. He said, if you really want to get over your fear, you've got to bring this balloon close to its natural enemy. A small needle. Close. A small needle. So I did.
That's not a small needle.
No, it isn't. You're right.
It's long.
Well spotted, Shane.
It's long and thick.
Good man. I imagine for you the jokes aren't very good, but the colours and the shapes are nice, aren't they? He said, if you could pop that balloon with that needle, you'd be over your feet. I thought rather than pop it, I'd put the needle all the way through. The balloon wouldn't pop, and it would look like this.
Steady.
If you're going to join in, at least come to rehearsal.
Steady.
Before I put this needle through the balloon. I know what you're all thinking, and the answer is about 15 minutes. How can we watch the needle and the balloon, two things with only one pair of eyes? Well, the answer is this. With one eye, watch the needle. And with the other eye, watch the balloon. If you're doing that now, you'll probably find this quite annoying. There's a jump of the needle through the balloon. In France, they call this needle Dans le balloon. In Germany, they call it needle und balloon. In China, they've got a Chinese name for it. I've actually psyched myself out a little bit, if I'm being honest. The needle is in the balloon. Now, I know some of you are skeptic. You don't believe me when you see it come out the other side. The needle is through the balloon. Wow. Now, there are two ways to perform this illusion. There's one with applause. Please don't stop. This is the most dangerous part of the trick, because if the balloon bursts now, the needle shoots out at over 100 miles an hour. Go ahead, shout bang now. I don't think today is going to be that day, ladies and gentlemen. That is the needle through the balloon illusion, and that is how I conquered my fear. Thank you. Thank you. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of mind reading for you. Now, the other guys have done mind reading. I can't do it, unfortunately. I do not possess the mental capacity in order to do mind reading, but I've got a friend who does. He's a little bit fierce. I'm going to bring him out for you now. He needs his intro music. Don't worry, he'll be more scared of you than you are of him. That's cool.